welcome back. Today I'm going to be baking a cake with, and then, two special guests. Say hi. Hi. So let's get started on baking the cake. First, we're going to prepare the batter. First, we're going to be starting with a box of batter. So let's actually just pick these things up and we'll move them out of the way. So we've got our supplies first. We're going to also preheat the oven. So can you tell me on the back of the box what it says to preheat it to?
350 Fahrenheit.
So now we're going to pour all the batter in. So do you want to pour in the batter for me?
Yep. To mix.
So we're going to add the cup of water, a third cup of butter, and 3 eggs. I need you to pour in our water and eggs. Okay, can I try helping you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a little help sometimes.
Yep. We finished the mixing, so what's next?
Pour into pan.
Okay, what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put these in the oven while we bake the second batch of cakes. We are now here with my second guest, and we are gonna be starting on the second batch of batter. So can I have you open up the box? And then just like before, I'm cutting up the butter so it's easier for us to mix it later. And then we have the eggs going in and then the water. And then time to mix it all up. And this one was actually a lot easier because I had a better helper this time. And then pouring in batter. Okay, so we have the fondant, some food dye, some gloves, and now I'm going to be dyeing the fondant. So what I'm going to be doing is we have 4 different colors. I think I'm going to do one of each color because I want to do like polka dots all around white. And then I'm going to put a 100 made out of the blue and then the YouTube logo made out of red. Let's get started. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to limit it to maybe only half of this because I know I'm probably going to need a lot of fondant for the cake. Also just cornstarch. Opening up this, putting a little bit on. Then spreading it out. Then we got a rolling pin. We're going to try to do a little bit less than half to start off with, just because I want to try to not use all of it because I don't know what I'm going to still need. I'm going to need the fondant to make it like Play-Doh. So I'm going to make it like really pliable by just kneading it a bunch. So that's good enough for the logo. Then also for the button part, the white button part, I'm also gonna have that, but I'm just gonna keep it white for the 100. And then the rest of this, I'm gonna turn into polka dots. So I'm gonna roll it out one more time. And then these 4 will be the polka dots. I'm gonna do some yellow polka dots. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of yellow at first. This yellow was really easy because it is super light, so it mixed really nicely with the white. So it's like you can kind of tell it's there, so that's a good color for me. Okay, so we're just gonna take this, put it on top, fold it over. Then doing the other colors, so I'm doing red, which kind of turned out more of a pinky color, but it's turning out pretty good. Just mixing it all in, here it is. Then the blue. Again, all of these colors are really light, so it's pretty easy to mix them and get the right color with only a few drops. Here's the blue, a lot darker on camera. And then of course some green. I wanted to do 4 different colors and these were the 4 I had. Here it is. And they all turned out pretty good. Then I started on the dark red and it was super dark. Taking a pause on the fondant for right now because all the cakes are out. The other ones over there, cooling off still. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip them over and let them cool even more. Okay, I'm also going to cut off the tops of them because they're like a tad bit rounded and I want some flat cakes. So I've got this and you just basically level it like that and then you slide it. Slicing off the top and then putting it out to cool. Okay, now we do the same. Just like before, I'm slicing off the top, cutting around the edges, and then popping it out, peeling off the little parchment paper, and then it's cooling. Then I got started on the 100, so this was a really dark blue, and it was super difficult to create and really dark on camera. A lot darker on camera. Okay, now put it right there, and I have a rolling pin. I used a smaller rolling pin because it was a lot easier to roll it all out with this. Looks pretty good to me. I'm going to roll it out. Then cutting out a rectangle for the YouTube logo. Now I'm going to roll out the button part. Just like in the video where I made the clay play button, it was really difficult to get the triangle perfect, but I was able to. Then I used some water and fondant mixture to glue it on. Okay, now I'm going to do the 100. So I'm just gonna get the dark blue. I messed up and looked down too much, so that's why there's like a little black spot up there. But this was also super difficult because I had to get these circles just right, so you'll see me a bunch of times redoing it over and over. Here it is. I ended up cutting out circles in the middle later, but I didn't have it on camera. Okay, so I have this thing again, and I'm going to be cutting these cakes. Same exact step as before, you know what it is. So I have this thing, which I'm going to put the cake on top of to then be able to frost it all the way around. Getting a little like cardboard piece to put on top, or put the cakes on top of. Then we'll get to frosting. Got the chocolate fudge, frosting, and cardboard. So I'm going to put that straight on here. I'm going to take a bit of frosting and just put it kind of at the bottom to help it stick. Just like that to kind of help it stick. And then I'm going to take the first layer, place it right there, then start frosting the rest. Just wanted to say that my cake has a lot of crumbs on it because I didn't let them cool long enough, but if you want your cakes to cool quicker, you can just put them in the fridge. I have 2 dowels, so they're going to fit pretty well on the cake, so I'm just going to put 2 kind of more towards the middle to help stabilize the cake. So just like that, how they're kind of more in the middle part. Then I'm going to put fondant on top of this, so I'm going to roll out some fondant. Now how I did this is I rolled out some fondant on like a little mat, flipped it upside down, and then placed it straight on the cake. Then I slowly pulled at it, but not too much because you don't want your cake to fall over, and just slowly pulled until it kind of got to the length I wanted. And then I started to kind of push inwards, and then once I got it pretty good, I cut out a little bit and then smoothed it out even more and kept on cutting it out, just like this. Then I cleaned up the frosting at the bottom, smoothed it out a little bit more, and then all of these little spots that it has on it, I'm going to cover up later. But then, for my second layer, I have another piece of cardboard, but it's smaller than the first cake and smaller than the second cake. But that's what you want because you want it to be able to be hidden. Just like before, frost it, same thing, let it stick on. And then after I finished up that, I didn't use any dowels because I don't need any support. Rolled out some fondant, and then same exact thing, how I placed it on top, just like before. This is actually turning out pretty good. He's going to be voice over me for quite a bit of time in this video, but why I'm cutting out this excess fondant is because it makes it, in my opinion at least, so much easier to work with. Anyways, after smoothing it all out, cutting off the excess fondant, don't need to worry about that frosting because I'm placing it straight on the cake. What I'm saying here is I'm making a little pearl lining, so I have both of my guests helping me, only one on screen and the other one is off screen. But this made it go by so much quicker because we had so many people working on it, then using that same water fondant mixture to glue on all of these little pearls. Little mess up right here in the corner, so I decided to draw what my original plan kind of was of the cake. So here it is, one of the 100 on top, the logo on the bottom, and no dots. Added the dots because I thought it would make it a little bit nicer. Switched the logo in the 100. I don't know how I feel about it. I think it still looks nice in the end, and honestly, who cares because I'm eating it anyways. And yeah, placing it all down, and it's looking so good. I really do love that I decided to do the dots. And here it is. I love the cake so much, and it tastes so good. Now, let's go open up that YouTube plaque. Okay, now for the play button. I just wanted to say I made this on Monday. I made it myself. It's based off of a real YouTube play button, but it is not a real one, and I took a few parts of it. But here it is. So it's not exactly like an actual YouTube play button. I tried to go for like a bronze kind of color. It's a bit more gold. Has a few cracks in it. Here's like the inspiration kind of. This isn't an actual play button either, but it's kind of just what I was trying to create. And it turned out pretty good. Like, here are the cracks I'm pointing out, but you saw the video on Monday. It's a lot better than what it was before, and it looks so good. I'm actually super happy about this because I wanted a little play button for 100 subscribers. So thank you so much. Again, it's not real, not a real play button, made it myself, but I think it turned out pretty good. And what do you think? I'll see you next week. Bye!